Hello there, and how are you? My name is Mohindo Mubarak, and in this video I'm going to teach you how we can make an Android application like this one. It's a simple e-commerce shop where we'll be able to add a new product by simply clicking on add product, and then we can feed our own title, our own price, and the details, and we simply click on add. Then this application will save the data that you've added. So if we click back, we'll be able to see what I've added and has been loaded in our application. Another thing that you'll learn in this application, or the basic thing that we're going to learn how to save this data, the data on database, a local database for the mobile phone. So this data that you're going to see in this application will be coming from the mobile phone. We will use the room technology, or the technology called the room database, and also we will use the glide to load the images from internet. So these images are not coming from mobile phone but are going to be loaded from internet. And one more interesting thing, in case we are not connected to internet, for example, I switch off my internet connection here, I switch off the data connection, still I'll show you how we can cache these images offline so that they'll be coming from internet, from the local machine, even though our internet connection is off. So I hope you're ready to learn such a great thing, how we're going to make a simple e-commerce shop like this one in this single video. If you are, then let's get started and we make a great thing like this. Just simply add a product, it will be loaded to the local database, and then once you add it, that product will be able to appear. You can even add multiple like this, and then when you click back, you'll be able to get the data, those products appearing in your application. Since we are offline, then the images, some images will not load, and when you load, those products will be able to do what? To be displayed in our Android application. So are you ready to learn this? If you are, let's get started. So welcome back to another class. Today we are going to look at how we can create local database, how we can manage the local database, and we'll also look at another thing, how we can use images, online images, and caching them into our mobile applications. So we'll look at two things, the local database and online images. So to use local database, there is a database called SQLite. Every Android platform has it, but it is a little bit complicated to use. So there is a library that Google team developed that simplifies or acts as an interface between our application and the database of SQLite. For example, inserting in an SQLite or selecting from the SQLite using the raw code, you can write around 6 lines or 7 lines to just select something from the SQLite table. But with the database that you're going to look at, which is going to call the interface that you're going to use to communicate the database, we call it room. So with room database, it is just like 2 lines, and it will do what? It will help you to accomplish such a task that you could have written many lines. For example, another thing is like in case you want to create the tables of our database, you may need to create them manually by yourself using SQLite, and it becomes a little bit complex. But with room, if you don't just create an object, you just create a class, and then you define you say it is a table, and once you call it a table, then that's all. You don't need to do to do anything else. It will take care of itself. It will create that table, and in case you just change the class properties, and it will automatically detect when you let it know. So you'll find it is very, very simple and effective to use the room database than using the plain SQL. Likewise to photos, when you want to collect a photo from internet, you may collect it directly from there, but it's a little bit complex. So they came up with libraries such as Picasso. We'll look at those libraries in unit videos, such as Picasso and Glide. So those libraries, they'll collect the photo for you and they'll make it simple. Just provide it a URL and then to go and collect that photo for you from the internet. And it can also help to cache that photo. For example, if the user is offline, a library like Glide, it will be able to cache that photo, and it can display it even when the user is offline. So basically that's what we're going to do today. So without wasting much time, I'll begin by creating a new project, and then I'll just click empty project and say next. So I don't know which kind of application should make an e-commerce. Let us make an e-commerce store, just a simple e-commerce store, where I'll be adding products with their name, title, photo, and the price, and then we can view them later. So let us begin by doing that. So I'll simply come here to application. I can say how should I call it? eShop. Let me call it what? eShop, electronic shop, and then I'll leave the name as the way it is. So I'll come and select the location how I'm going to save this one. So I'm going to go to what? To Abdulaziz here. Okay. So it's going to be 7, right? It's going to be new folder. Call it 07 underscore database and images. Okay, so that's the thing that we're going to cover today. So I'll say okay, then I'll simply come to this one and select it, and then I will keep everything the way it is here. I'll leave this one to be here. I can come here and make it marshmallow, which is okay, and then I go ahead and click on what? On finish. Did I start recording? I click on finish. Then to start creating the application for us. So as it is creating the application, let me preparing other things. So as our application is indexing, let us be looking at at the library that we're going to use. We said that the first one is going to be the room library, or the library for the database. So I've already created another application with that room. So to save time, or to avoid this video to be too long while explaining everything, I'll be just using that library. I'll be copying some code, or I'll be referencing from the other application, and I'll be explaining the code that I've written. So first of all, we're going to begin by putting the room database in our new project. This is a new project. It's called eShop. So you can simply search room on internet. Just come on internet and write room database, or room Android database, and then say okay. So Google, you see, it's even on the official website of the of Google Android developers. So this database, you can see, they will explain for you everything step by step, and they will recommend it to be the best. You see, since something you see that it is recommended or used by the Android developers main website, official website, you just know that thing is the best that you can use. So Google says that they even use this room in their application, so you can come and read these notes. Okay, but for me, I'll not read A, B, C, D. Okay, but I'll just go ahead and explain main parts. But in your free time, you can come and read these notes. Okay, so the first thing, you can even come here and search room database code lab. Okay, so code lab, they will show you how you can implement these things step by step in your project. Every topic that you want, just come and search its code lab. So here it is under developer code lab. Actually, this code lab is very, very important. For example, when I was learning this room, I had failed to get even a YouTube channel to learn it from, but from this code lab, I was able to do what? To teach myself this room. So they show here different examples how you can do different things, so many things. So I learned it from code lab, this room database. So you see, they'll explain everything step by step, and all what you need to implement something in the right way, or with good practices. So if you search room database code lab, you can find here the step. They will tell you why you need it, and then they will explain the architecture. You just click, you see how the application that you're going to do, you click next, and they'll tell you what you should do next, like that. That's a code lab for you. So in the very first place is to add the what? The dependency. So for me, we already have the dependency. Just search room database dependency. You'll find it. It is straightforward. It is here. Room database dependency. There is this one and this one. Those are the two things that we need. So for me, I already have it. So I'm going to copy the one that we have in my project because I'm sure it is the most stable one that I can use for now. And then I implement it in a new project. This is just 100 room database room whatever the way it is here. So I'm going to copy this annotation processor and this and implement them in our project. So I'll copy these ones, but you can get them on internet. You can search them. For example, if you come here to Code Labs, you see they'll show you here when you importing Gradle files. They'll give them to you here, the annotations and the room. Okay. So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and do and copy these two, and then I'll go to my to our project. This is the project. So I'll go to Gradle and they go to Gradle module. I click on that, and then I'll go down where there's dependency, and then I'm going to add the room database, implementation of room database, and then I'll go ahead and sync the application. So this application will sync. So another thing that we'll use is the glide, but I will add that one later. For now, let's just be using this one. So I hope you are on the same page. Yeah, okay. So in the very first place, we're going now to create an activity of where we're going to add a new product. So first of all, I will simply come here to our project, and then here I'm going to create a list. I'm going to be a little bit faster because it might be a long video. So I'll come here and create a linear, or let us make it a scroll view because we may need to scroll. So I'll put a nested scroll view, and then I'll come after and remove nested scroll view is the most efficient one because it can have multiple things compared. The first one was scroll view, but they modified it with the nested scroll view, which is having more power than the single just scroll view. So but they do the same thing. So I'll go ahead, but this one takes only a single child. So I'll simply put here a linear layout and make it match parent and match parent. Okay, and then I will come and give orientation here, orientation vertical. Okay, then I'll go ahead and do and I'll put here, maybe I'll remove the scroll bars. So scroll bars, how do you call it? Scroll bars. How do you remove that? Let me just leave them. Just using the linear layout. Okay, so once we do that, we'll go ahead and put the add product. Okay. Do we need to make it necessary scroll view? It's not necessary because I realized that we don't need, because just have one button and the recycler view. So this one does not need to be a necessary scroll view. Avoid it when necessary because it will make your application not to be stable. But if you can't avoid it, okay, yeah, I'll leave just orientation vertical. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to put here my button for adding a new product. Okay, so that if I click on that button, I should be taken to activity of adding a new product. So I'll simply come here and say button, and then say match parent, wrap content, and then I can put here text of add product. Okay, and then I wrap it there like that, and then maybe I can add the size, maybe make it a little bit bigger, and maybe 20 dp. So after doing that, I will leave here maybe some padding. Okay, let me leave it. Let me make it just as plain as possible. So we have created that. So let us go ahead and create the click listener. I'll give it an ID, and then I'll give it add product. Okay, add product. Okay, so after doing that, I'll come here on main activity and do it and give it an ID, a button. Okay, So let me create a method for binding views. Bind maybe views, and there it shall be finding. It's going to be find what? Find view by id r.id dot add product. Okay. So after doing that, we'll go ahead and add the click listener. The set on click listener, new on click listener. Then we'll go ahead and create our second activity for adding product. Okay. Right. So first of all, okay, I'm going to just add here what. Okay, it is better to organize your project. Okay, it's very better to always organize your project. For example, all the activities should be together, the adapters should be together, and the models should be separate. But since we're going to have one, we'll not need to do that, but it is better to do that. For example, let me show you. Let us just implement what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to create here a package for activities. So I'll come under my main package here and I right click new and then say new what? New package here. So I'm going to put here activities, small letters, activity, something like that. Okay, activity. Okay, so in this package is where I'll be putting my activities. So if my project becomes too huge, I can be knowing where I find the classes of activity, the classes of adapter, and the classes of models. So in this one, I'm going to add a new activity, new. I just right click on it. Make sure you right click on it, new, and then you say activity. I mean Java activity, and then I'll make it an empty activity. And then after doing that, I'll simply come and say here add add product. Okay, then after I press the escape, new Java where is it? Empty activity. Yeah, so instead of saying I'll remove this main. Instead of saying add product, I better say product add, because the word product is general. So everything that's about product can begin with the add product and can help me to organize my code. So to know product add. So when I want things about the product, I'll just look for the P. Okay. So I have to organize the things in a smart way. So that's our class, and then I say finish, and then you'll have under activity, you'll have an activity for add product activity. So after doing that, I'm going to now come here and put the here back to our main and do it and add and open this intent when you click OK. So the intent I is equal to new intent, and then we'll add product dot what? You first pass the context this, and then comma product dot class. Add product dot class. I think that is straightforward, right? So why is it crying? How to put the main activity, because it's a click listener. Main activity dot what? Dot this. Yeah, because what's the main listener. So after doing that, we can go ahead and do it and start working on the logic of adding new product. So to add new product, let's first work on the user interface. So I'll come here to the new product, and then I open the code split, and then here we're going to put the interface for adding new product. Okay, so I'm going to change it to be a linear layout, and then I'm going to be collecting so I'm going to just collect ID. Okay, I'm going to collect the product, the name, so it will be going to be input text. Is it text input or input text? Edit text. Edit text. Okay, so I'm going to make this one orientation vertical. I'll not mind so much about the user interface. I'll just mind about the project itself, the functionality. So width match parent, height, wrap content, right? And then I can put the hint. Maybe I can call it book title, I mean product title. I can say title. Okay, so I'll give it ID title. Okay, so after doing that, I'll go ahead and put in maybe the description, or maybe author. Do you need to do that? Oh, no, let's put price and details. Price. Okay, so just make this one price. Title supposed to be single thing. Okay. Price. What?
Picture.
The picture will just make some random pictures from internet. For now. So can put here maybe some margin of 10 dp. Come on, give this one margin of 10 dp. Okay, so we have those two, and then we'll have price. Then lastly, we can give it product details. Price, so it's going to be product details. Details. It's going to be ID. What? Details. Okay. Just, and then you can put here lines, maybe 5. Okay, so I can put here the text type, input type. I'll make it text. Do the same. Just do the same to this guy, and the same to this guy. Okay, so that's it for now. So we'll go ahead and collect these things from the back end. Okay. So to do that, I'll just simply come here in the product activity and create some edit text objects. Edit text object. The first one is the title, so you can simply come copy here and say title, and then I can put here maybe also my method of binding views. Okay, so here I'll just be calling it to bind the views. Then I'll have to link find view by id r.id dot title, and then I'll go ahead and create the price. I'll come here, just put a comma and put price. So I'll go ahead and create the details. Going to be details, price, and then also details. Okay, so after doing these two, I'll go ahead and now do what, and put the click listen. Oh, forget the button of submit. Okay, so I'll just come here and just give it change this one to what, to button. Okay, and then I'll change this one submit, and then I can also change the what, the text as the submit, or add product. Okay, so can maybe increase the text size and make it a little bit bigger, maybe 20 dp. Okay, so I'll come and copy this submit ID and come and create another object of that, of button, and then after I'll come and find the view by ID. Don't forget that is very important. And then I'm going now to click here this set click listener. Okay, the set click listener on the submit button. So it'll be new on click listener, and I'm going to do what, to create here, maybe I'm going to create a function for validating. Okay, so validate fields. Okay, so this is a function, then I'll press Alt and Enter to create it, and I'll create it in this main product activity. This is just a function that I've just created. So here, so I'm going to be validating the fields. So to validate the fields, I just simply create an object. Let's create an object of what? Of product first before we proceed. So to create an object of product, I'll just simply come here and come here under my project. So it's going to be a model, right? It's going to be a model. I'm going to just simply come here and right click here on the main project, and I'm going to create another package. We'll be putting models. So if we're user model, I'll put it there, product model, I'll put it there, end model. So to organize your code, you have to organize like this. Models should be separate, activity should be separate, adapters should be separate, something like this, so it can help you. So I'm going to create a new package of what? Of model. So I'm going to put here model. Okay, then I'm going to add a what? A product package. So I'll just simply come here, new what? Product. Okay, Java class, and I'll call it what? Product model. Okay, product model, like this. Okay, then I know I have a product model. So let us put some properties of product. So to be maybe string first, maybe, and have what? ID first. So I can by default I make it to be nothing, but it is greater to make the string to be what? The integer. I mean the ID to be what? To be integer, just like the way I read here. Let me show you this previous project. What did I do for the models? Let me see. Java music. That's my models here. My models are here. Yeah, string. I made it as string, but it is recommended to make it what? An ID. Okay, an integer. But if you make it an integer, your application will be crashing in case there's something wrong with that string. That's the whole problem. So after, let us make it an integer, and we'll make it auto increment. Okay, and make it a primary key, and make it auto what? Auto increment. So let us make it just an int. Okay, I'll make it to be 0 by default. Okay, so after doing that, we'll go ahead and do what? And say the what? The title. See if there's any problem. Yes. Okay, so string what? String title. Okay, so it's going to be nothing, and then we have what? Price. It's going to be what? Maybe an integer, and also it's going to be 0 by default, and then have another string of details. Details to have also nothing, and then we'll have a photo, product photo. We can say image. So it will be nothing. Here we'll just create some.
Image will be string or
it will be string for now. For now it will be string, because it will be a link. Because I'm going to show you first how to get images from internet using a library that I'm going to talk about today. So it's going to be string. So this is our model for what? For a single product. So we're going to create now this product here, which is the main one, main activity. I mean add product activity here. So I'm going to first create here a product. Okay, so I'm going to create an object or product like this. I can even say new product, because serving just to initialize it should have nothing. So it is a product but with nothing. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and start initializing it. Say I'll simply, let me just be initializing it from here. I'll create this product. By default it will be null, and then when I'm validating, I'll be initializing it. Okay, by first saying product is equal to new. So it will call just a default constructor. We've not even put it there, but it doesn't matter even if you don't have the default constructor. Just say alt and insert, and then say constructor, select none, and then say okay. This is just a default constructor. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to start now putting the values. So it will be product dot one dot title, I did not make these ones public. You have to make them public if you want to access them outside. Let me make it public here, also public here, also what? Public and public and public, so we can be able to access them from outside. So it will be product dot what dot title is equal to, so it's going to be our title that you created, this one, okay, dot what dot get text dot to string. Okay, then after doing that, we're going to check if this text is empty or not. Okay, so by simply saying if string dot length is empty, is this also there? Okay, if it's empty, see that's a method, and then I'll make a toast, toast what? Toast like this, and then I say string, title to short or title empty, something like that. Okay, so if the title is nothing, I'll make that title, and then I return to cancel this. Understand? Here we are validating. So as long as you fail to fulfill this, I just return from this point. Okay, hope it's straightforward. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and create another and validate the price. So get the price, so it's going to be this. I'll just come and copy these two, just to be almost the same. And I'll copy these two, so it's going to be dot price, and this is going to be dot price dot what dot get text dot to string, or there we'll put here. If you want to convert it to integer, just simply put okay, first it's better, otherwise your application is going to crash if it's nothing. So if better first get if is what is not empty, is empty. So if it's empty, I'm just going to return first. Okay, I just get it, I don't attach it, I just say price dot get text dot to string dot is empty before I collect it. So if it is empty, I can say the price. Otherwise, if you don't, just go ahead and convert it to integer without changing, your application will do what? Will crash. So price not set. Okay, and then I cancel from here by returning. So I can still go ahead and put the user to a focus where I want him to be. So just put here price dot request focus, and it will make the user to get focused to the place that I want. So let me do the same here. It's going to be title dot request focus. Okay, so after doing that, we'll go ahead and do what, and the price. Okay, and now get the price in case it passes here, right? So in case it passes here, and then we just simply say integer dot value, integer dot value of, and then you put price dot get text dot to string, then it will try to convert to integer. And to avoid also the problems, you better come here and set the text input type of the price, which is here, to be what? To be numbers. Okay, so here input type, and set it to be what? To be number, because the user can enter their words and bring problems. So in this input it will be numbers. So after doing that, we'll go ahead and after putting the price, so where we are here, right? Then we'll get the details. Just come and copy this one right here, right here, and so we'll first check. Okay, we don't need this again because I already checked here. So I hope we are together. So here I'll come and get the details. So it's going to be details. It's going to be details dot get text, and then I'll go ahead and check if the details is empty. I can say details to short, something like that. Okay, but sometime you may not even need the details. Let us just check for the validate details. Okay, so not memorize that every time if you need to validate everything. So after you pass, you get the details. After you pass all these steps, then we'll go to the adding product to the database. So to add the product to the database, I will just simply call this function of add product database. Okay, so for example, okay, let me call it here like save product now. Okay, save product. Okay, so it is not a created function, so I'll create it. Alt and enter. And so I have this create file from here. Let me put on top so that our code should be just on top to avoid going back down every time. Just the same way. Okay. So yes, we are going to put a adding product process. So I can show a dialog box, like a processing dialog box at this point, like to show that something is being added. Or I can just create a simple toast. I can say saving product to just notify the user what is going on, like this. Okay, so now the business starts from here. Oh, we do not create the photo. Let's finish that thing of a photo. So to create a photo, so we're going to create just here an array of strings, and in that array of strings we're going to put there some photos, links of photos, and then in those links of photos which will be fetching the product. So let me create here my array of strings. I'm going to call it so it's going to be array list, and then it's going to be just array of of strings, right? I can say maybe photos or images is equal to new array list. Okay, so in this I'm going to add there some list of photos, and then I'll be getting some random photo from there. So here I'll have to add there some photos, right? So I can add these photos at this point. At this point I can create also a function just to add photos there. But let me add them here. Okay, let me add them at this point. Okay, so I begin by clearing it if it is having some photos before, because this function may be called modem, and then dot add. Okay, so here I'm going to add here some list of links for the photos. Okay, so I can come here to internet and come to Unsplash. I can come and search product photos. Okay, so we have here product. Oh, let me there's one website which is having some good photos. Which website is that? Diano. Yeah, Diano. It's having some good photos. Diano. You can search even some dummy photos. Product dummy images. There are many websites which will provide these images. Just come here and then click here. So you find, we call them stock images. You find so many websites that can provide images. But for me, let me get for the real one. I'll come, for example, there's this website called Diano. It is an e-commerce. It's called Diano like this. It's an e-commerce shop where they sell products. I'm just going to get a website. There is one, a New Chic. This one also another website. Very nice website where they can find photos. I'm just going to use some of their photos. These are having some beautiful photos here. There's this one also. They're having also some beautiful photos. Let me get like some few photos. Which one should I use? Even I'm running out of choices because all of them are beautiful. Okay, let me use New Chic, the simpler one. Okay, let's use New Chic. We'll pick like 5 from men, from women, by just simply clicking on women. I'll pick like 5 from here, and 5 from men, and then 5 from kids. So I'll do that very fast by simply clicking on this view product, and when I click on view product, let me get this one. Okay, so to get this image, just click on it, and then right click on this here. You see there's copy image link. Where is it? Copy image address. Just click here. Okay, open new tab. You see the image is here. Here I'm just using my stubbornness to get the image. It's not necessary that you should always do like this. You can get image from anywhere, but for me I just use this as a stubbornness. So let me get this image. Just I click on it to zoom it. By default you cannot copy it, but for me to be stubborn, I just click it. Then here in zoom, they have no way they can hide the link. So I just copy the what? Copy address, copy image address. So I have that photo, and now come to my project and add it here, right? So it's going to be array list of image, and I add image, I add that one. Okay, so let me do this faster. Images dot what dot add. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this multiple times, and I'm going to add there some more images, right? So let me do that faster. So I'll get another product. For example, here is a related product. Let me get this one, which is a little bit different, and I'll just simply click on it, come here, copy what? Copy image address. Make sure it is an image address, because sometimes you may copy wrong image address, but you can just simply just paste it somewhere and make sure it is displaying an image. So let us get some more. Let me get a different one. She looks a little bit different. Maybe this. Okay, so just simply click on it and then come and copy this image. Copy image address. Okay, so I'll pause this video so that the video should not be long for no reason. I'll copy these images in background, and then after I'll resume the video. So we've copied all these images when you had paused the video. You see these images, so you should do that job by yourself. You can also pause the video and copy the images and put them in your what? In your array of images. Okay, so these are the images. I've added them here. Okay, so that's straightforward and self-explanatory. So we have a list of what? Of image links. These are just links. So after that, then I'll come here to add product. I'll set the what? The image, product image. Okay, so I'll set the product image. I'll first create a reshuffle. I'll first shuffle the images to randomize them. So to randomize the images, there is a Android method called collections dot. It has a lot of things that you can do with shuffle. It can sort an array. It can shuffle the array. So here dot shuffle, and just pass that array. So what you do, it will just randomize the images. So I can shuffle like 3 times. That's a very big random, and these images will not be in the what? In the same order. Okay, so after doing that, I'll come here to what? Add product. Oh, then after I have to say the images now. Okay, so it will be product. This is product model is dot what? Dot image is equal to the images dot what? Dot get, and I get maybe something in position 2. Whatever will be there at that time is what I'll get, because I'm sure there are so many, and I've randomized them, and then I'll get just anything from any place. Then I'll have a random photo for now. But the next videos I'll show you how to, in the next class I'll show you how to do it, how you can upload the photo to internet if time will allow. Okay, so after doing that, I'll go ahead. So you have here, I'll go ahead and now start doing the logic of adding product to a database. So that's where the whole business starts from. First of all, I'll have to create this. To create a database itself. Okay, you have to create a database. I'll not follow these steps because they are so formal. We first create the database itself, and that database is where you define the classes that you're going to do. So to create a database, you simply write these lines of code. So here I have I have my collection where I have the databases thing organized in the same place. So if I want database, imagine if all these classes, they are mixed, classes of activities, classes of models, classes of adapters, classes of functions. It could be confusion. So what I do, I put them in packages. So the first, that's what we're going to do here also. Okay, so we're going to create a package of database. Okay, so simply come here to package and call it package, and put maybe DB. So in that package is where I'll put databases. But I'll make sure this package is under my main package. So the first thing is create the database itself, and in this, like you see here, and this database, it is where we'll define the functions that will do that will be doing. It's where you initialize the database with your project. So you initialize the database that you're going to use in your project. So I'll just simply come and create that class in my in my project. Minimize here. I'll explain everything. So just come and copy this. Okay, so this is our project, right? So here in this free empty, I'll begin by creating a database by just simply right clicking on it and then say new and then say Java class and then you say database. Okay, you can call it any name, but me I just call database to make it relate. Then after, you extend room database class. Just say it extends room database. Okay, it extends room database like this. So once you say it extends room database, it will say that you'll have to implement some classes. Just press Alt and press Enter to say you have to implement some methods. Say okay, then implement all of them that they suggest for you. Okay, so let me show you the things that you need to implement here, the most important part. So first of all, you need to create a, so here we initialize. This is where initializing it from. No, this is where we'll do what, initialize the interfaces, and write the version and put the classes here. Okay, so first of all, you have to create it's an instance. Okay, so the instance is the one that will be basing on to get this database, and then after, you'll also define the number of processes that will be running at a particular time, the maximum number of processes. Okay, and then after, you'll have to define the database. Okay, the number of threads. Now you'll have to save these ones within your within your database. Execute service, and then you set the number of threads, and then after, you'll have to create is like the number of processes that they can run on your database asynchronously. Yeah, because if there are too many, you can try to query your database more than one time at the same time, and the application may become may freeze. So what do? You limit it by putting the number of number of threads. So I'm going to begin by creating the database itself, instance. So this can be any word. It's not necessary that you should call it what, you should call it instance, but this is it should be the database that will be basing on to create the operations. So I'll come to a project here, and these others create helper. They're just formal, but there's no need. So in the very first place, I'll begin by creating the instance itself. Okay, and then after creating the instance, I'll have to define the number of threads. It's just an integer. It can be public, can be integer, just public static. This I'll define this one. So I hope we are there together step by step. Then after, I will have to create the execute service. This is the one that I'll be using to communicate. I mean, under the execute service, it's the one that will be creating I'll be communicating to the database itself. So you just create execute service is equal or database executor. You can call it anything. Is equal to executors.new fixed thread pool. These words you don't need to memorize them, but you just need to know that they exist. Then you set the number of instances that will do it. So if you don't know them, then you don't know them. But if you know they exist, then you know where to get them. You can even create only one database and then you reuse it again and again and again in your project. So after doing that, I'll then now create the instance of my database. Okay, by just simply creating this abstract method. Okay, so I'll just simply come here and say abstract is got the database that I'm creating here. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and create this public class that will be creating the instance. Okay, and I'll call it get instance. So from here, I'll be getting the instance, and I return the database instance. So from this instance is where you'll be creating the method from. I mean your operations from. So I'll copy it, and I'm going to explain everything that I will write here. So these others, they're just optional. You can't remove them. We're going to remove them. So after creating, you see, I just create the abstract class of the very database class that you're creating. Okay, so after abstract method, then I'm put another method. I'm going to explain them. So this method is just public static synchronized database. Okay, the most important part here is the database that you're creating, and then you say dot get instance. Okay, so we'll be calling this method to get the instance of this database, and we provide to it a context of our application. Okay, and then it will check if the instance is not created. It will create it here, and if it is created, it will skip this and do what, and return it is. So this one will help us to create the instance only one time. So it just say instance if is equal to null, then it said database is equal to, room database is equal to database build, room dot database builder, and it get the context, it get the application context, and then it gives the database class, which is the database class that is here, and then it gives the database name. So this database name is, we just define it, we just define it anywhere in our application. Okay, anywhere in our application. So for me, I defined it is just a string. Okay, so I can define it either here or anywhere. So let me define it within here. Okay, so I'll come here, or I can define it at the beginning of my application, for example in the main context. So I'll come here in the main context, and I create a public what, a public static. I always define my constants in the same place, in the main place. So this is going to be a public static string. Okay, and I call it database name. You can call it anything. So here you give the name of your project, and you give something that it will not conflict with other applications. So for example, you can say eShop, right? eShop DB. Okay, so it means that this is the shop. That's the spelling of shop, right? This is the name, okay, that will be used to create my database with a room. Okay, so this is just going to be a database name for this particular project. So after you come back and you pass this database name here, this is just a public static class, string, so it can be accessed anywhere. So I just press Alt and Enter to do what, to import it. Okay, then it will be imported. So after doing that, then this part is done. Then you'll have to define a few things here on top, such as creating the database itself here. Okay, so this is where we create the database itself on top of the what, of the class. So I'll come here on top of what, of this class here, just here on top of the class, and create the database. Okay, how do I create it? Now let me explain this. This is where I'm going to be registering the classes or the methods that I want to save on what, on database. I just say database, and then I pass entities equals, and then I'll pass here the array of what, of entities that I want to put in my what, in my database. For now I don't have any, so I can just leave this one as commented, or I can delete them for now. Okay, because I don't have any. And then after, you define the version of your database. Okay, you define the version, and then you say if it should be exported or not. Just keep it false. So this is the version. So if you change anything in your entity, you'll have to come and upgrade here the what, the version. So in case you create a project and then you update, and in the new update you're having something that has changed the model that you're saving database, you'll be increasing this version, so that when the users install in the application, it does not crash. These things, I don't think we need them. Okay, so why is it crying? Add method to the body, make this abstract. Okay, so yeah, you just make this database what, an abstract database. That's why you don't need this one. You see, this should be an abstract database. That's why it was crying. So this is the interface, DB interface. Is going to be so before we come here to the interface, first of all, let me first explain what we've done so far, then I'll explain the interface later. First of all, we create we list the entities here. We say just that room, database, entities. Okay, and then we initialize the entities. The entities are the things that will use what, that will use in our application. Okay, sorry, I just close the database itself. Okay, sorry. Okay, entities, I repeat, entities, they are classes that you're going to be storing in your what, in your database, and this is how you initialize them. Then after, you create an abstract class of database that extends room database. Then inside there you can create the instance of the database, and then after you implement the number of threads that you want to be showing in that particular database, and then you initialize the executor, and then you put the number of number of threads that you want to be executing at a moment. Then after you create an interface. So this interface is where we'll write the logic that will be communicating with the database. I'll show you how to do that. And then after you create this method that will be getting the instance of database. You can be, well, the reason why I'm putting it here is just because I don't repeat myself. That's why I put it here. Otherwise you can be initializing in every activity. You manually write this. So it become repetition and it will become so complex. So better put it somewhere together like here. Then we are going to write the interface. Okay, so this interface, the database interface, is the one that will be communicating with the database itself, or the one will write the logic. So I'm going to create this database interface. I can copy this string. You can write anything that you want, and I'll come here under DB. I'm going to create a new Java class. I'll call it database interface. I can even make it an interface, no problem. But let me just give it a class. Okay. Make it an interface so I can show what it means. So here I have another interface. Okay, so in this interface, we don't define methods, but we implement methods, and it's where we're going to put things that we'll do. So you can see here, you should stop crying now. Everything should be okay. So we come here now. We're going to start implementing some things now in our interface. So before we implement anything in the interface, first of all, you need to create tables. Okay. So tables, we don't need to create them by ourselves, but we need to define things that we should save in a in a database. For example, what you're going to save in a database, we're having the product. The product is what you're going to save in the database. So to define something that you're going to save in the database, you define it like this. You just simply say you typecast. I don't know how to call this one. On top, you put at entity, and then you define the entity name. Okay? So by just saying at entity, it will automatically make that entity to be a database of, the room will automatically create a table for you. So let us go and do that. Just simply copy this to save time, and then I'll come here to product, not product activity, product model. What is it? Under models, you have product. Okay, under product models, I'm going to say that this one is going to be my table. So to do that, I'll just simply come on top here and put at entity. Okay, and then I put data table name. Just write this word. It should be the way it looks like there. Table name, and then I'll have to pass here the table name. So for example, I'm going to call this one product table. So it's going to be the name that they use, that room will use to do what? To store this product. Okay. So for me, I always write to make them strings in a specific place. I can as well just make it as a string as well it is, but it's better to do what? To use them to create a static strings that you can reuse them, or in case you change something, you just change only one place. So you see, I come in my main activity and I create this public static string, and I call it product table. So I just come here and press Alt and Enter. Everything will be imported, and it will be just as how I could manually put it here. So by doing like this, room will know this is a product table, and it will create it one time. If it's not created, it will do what? It will create it. If it's created, it will not create it again. So we could do that logic by ourselves, but room help us. So another thing, you have to now define the a primary key. It is a must that in a room database it should have a primary key. So our primary key is is an ID, so of integer. So I'll simply come here and copy this, and you put here at primary key on top of an attribute that you want to act as as a primary key. So just put at primary key, Alt, and then import. Just it will be like this, and you can even define that it is not it is not null on top of it. So it means that once you do this, press once you do this, it means that these things are going to act upon this. So if you want to, maybe for example, ignore maybe this title should not be saved, just put at what? At ignore. Okay, so there are so many things that you can do with this database. Okay, so it means that these are going to act upon this one. So I want this one to be auto incremented, yeah, but I don't know how to write that, so I'll search it because I'm not the one who created the database. So feel free. So I can say room auto increment. You will see so many answers. Okay, so room auto increment, the correct answer is here. Just a primary key generate true. What did they say? Okay, what did they say? Okay, I think, okay, I have just here to put at generate, so I just put here add this in a, I think, what do I add it? I think we add it here. Is it
Not in this.
like this? Maybe. I don't know. Like this.
Not in this.
No, not this project. In this project, okay? Add primary key, generate, pass a method, and make it true. I hope that's it. So I didn't know to do this, but you just search. Everything is about searching, and then they will auto. So what? You see, this guy, that's how he did it. And then we don't need to initialize it to what? To 0. Yeah, you don't need, because room will take care. Okay, I hope everything is straightforward and it's understandable. So after doing that, now after doing this in our class, so every class that want to be saved in a database, we just simply add this and do this. Okay, so after doing that, then we'll go ahead and so this is the interface. Okay, the interface. So we'll go ahead and now write the logic of our methods that we want to communicate to the database. So for example, I want to save the product, so I have to write the logic of doing what? Of saving the product. So to save the product, that is going to be what? An insert. Okay, so to insert in room, we just simply put so these one are going to be what? In an interface. Okay, so you just simply come in an interface here. Okay, in the database interface here, this one, okay, that we created. We just simply come there and say at what? At insert. You see, as simple as that. And then after, you define where you want to insert. Okay, so first of all, you give it what you return. So I'm going to return nothing, and then you put what you're going to insert. Okay, so for example, I want to save only a single product. Room can save a list of a product, can save a list of object, can save a single object. So it is really simple to use. So I just simply put void, and then I say maybe save what? Save product. I give it a name that I'll use to call it, and then I pass here a product. I don't want to save a list. I just want to save a single product. So I'm going to be product what? Product model dot class. Not product not dot class. Just put product model like this, and then you give it a name, product model, like this. You don't need even to. So room will take care. So this will insert. It will insert this product in this database. So after doing that, that is how we insert so far. So we are going to create one more thing. We are going to call it a what? A repository. So this one will be the one that will communicate the database directly. This may look complex, but when you repeat again and again, you will understand, because every step you can understand, and then later you can connect. So we're going to create a repository. A repository is where we're going to be putting a logic that will be initializing our database together, and we use those things in our project. So to do that, repository is not necessary, but it is recommended. It is recommended. It is not necessary. Yeah? A repository is that will create now, communicate with this interface and your and your activities. But it's not necessary, but it is recommended to avoid you repeating yourself again and again. So I'm going to create that repository. As you can see, I already have something like that in our project here. Okay, it just helps you to visualize things at once, and then you don't need to repeat yourself the database repository. So I'm going to do that by simply coming here, right click and say new Java class database repository, and then I have repository there. So complex, but once you understand it, you'll just see it is simple. So first of all, in this repository, I'm going to define a what? This tag is not necessary. I'm going just to define the database. It's that I'll be initializing the database and the database interface. So these two, I'm going to define them, and I'll make them to be public if I want to access them directly through the public. Okay, so database, I already have it, and database interface, I already have it. So after doing those two, I'll go ahead and get the context. I must have the context, because to define the database, you must have the what? You must have context. So after having the context, it is complex, but that is the only way to go because even me, I learned them the same way. So I'll have to get the database repository. I have to create it to create the method, the constructor, okay, and then I'll need to initialize the context. So I'll create the constructor. Let me just create it from here. To create the constructor, I'll just press Alt and Insert, and then say constructor. I just need to initialize this context. I want someone who uses this you should give me context like this. Okay, so after initializing the context, I'll have to now create the database. Okay, the database. I'll have to initialize the database. So it's going to be this database that I created here is equal to database, the one that that get instance. Remember, we created this get instance here. Okay, so it will help us to get the instance. So after getting the instance, we can now also get the instance of of the repository that you created. You see, we created the interface. Sorry, you see, database interface equals database interface.get instance. Remember, we have this repository. Okay, so this one will have to do what? To return the interface instance. So database.get interface. So this interface, remember, this database is the one that created interface. We provided it this interface, and then from this interface, from the database, we get now the interface. We don't get that interface directly. Okay, you remember when we created this database, we give it the interface. Then again from the database is where we are getting the the interface. So it will have passed their side, and then we get it here. So after doing that, then we can now start creating the methods that we need to be communicating to the database. The first method is saving a product. Okay, save product. Okay, in a repository, save product. Okay, so to save product, you must not do it from the front to the main thread or the main activity. That is a must. You must do it in background. That's a must of of this database. To save anything on database, you must do it in background. Otherwise, they expect that if you do it in front, it may it may freeze the application. So you should always do it in background. So I'm going to create that public method. Now it must be public, because we will need it. Okay, so I'm in I'm in repository, and I'm going to create a public method. I'm going to call it public dot save save product. So just like kind of repeating product. Okay, and then of course here I will expect a product. So to be product, and then product. Okay, something like this. Okay, so it will return nothing. Okay, we are together. So here I'm going to save now to the to the database. So it's going to be interface that we have dot save product. Remember, we already defined this, and then I give it product. Now, but this is okay, but here if you do it like this, your project will will crash. Why? Room does not allow you to save you from the main thread. you have to do it in background, and then that's why you need this database executor. It created for you a logic that you can do something in background. Just say database.executor.execute like this. Okay, so it is going to be database dot execute, database write execute dot execute, and then you just open and say, I want to write that dot execute, right? And then you open and then put new runnable, you see, and then just press enter to write for you. You see, now here it is where you will execute everything that you want in database. Okay, database write execute, they're the one who created for you this logic. Dot execute, just say new runnable, and then you press enter, and then you run. Inside the run you put what you want to run. Okay, so here I'll do what I will just put in console if something was created successful or not. So I just simply put log d, okay, log t, and then create a what, the tag. Okay, so inside this run I'm going to put a try and catch to see if it was executed properly. Just write the word try and then open curly bracket and put there. So if it reaches here, then I'll know it executed properly. I'll just write log d. I can say saved product. I can even specify the name by putting, because I have the product here, okay, by putting product dot name dot title. Okay, and then after catch I can now get exception E, and then I open here the curly bracket and I put failed to save product, and then I can put the reason by simply adding plus. Okay, maybe I can say simply because, and then I get this E dot what dot get message, or that get cause to get you the message, the reason why. So that's how we can save. So it is this interface, this that will be communicating the what to the interface, and then the interface will do for you the logic. So after doing that, now we're going to do what, to save the product. Now first of all we need, so come here now to the what, to the product activity. So it's look a little bit complex, but that is the only way to go. I also passed a lot to teach myself this thing. You just pause the video and watch again in case you don't get the whole thing, but that's the only way to go and the best way to go. So I'm going to now to create what, the database repository. So I'll simply come to the product activity, and now inside on top here I can put database repository and say database repository. Okay, this is the name. So I'll come here on the on create here, on create I just initialize it. Okay, so on create it is say is equal to new database repository, and I pass what, the context, because it needs the context. You understand? So by doing like that it will save. So now let me come now here to the save. I'll just simply put database dot save product, and then I can put the product that we saved, which is product model. I pass the product. You understand? Yeah, so by doing that I can know, we can tell whether it is saved or it did not save. So that's how we save. Now let us write the application and we see how if it's saved or not. So to do that I'll simply click on what, on run, and then we see whether we made it or we did not make it. Oh, there's an error. So the error is we have not specified. You see, that's the good thing about Room. You cannot do an error. It does not allow you to do error. So he said that it is meaningless for you to implement without specifying any class. So we come here and then we specify the class. We register the class here. Okay, here under database and then entities, you register the classes here that you're going to save in your database. Yeah, that's a good thing about Room. It does not allow you to do errors. So I'm going to specify the class, which is going to be product model dot class. So that is the entity. Yeah, actually I forgot to do that. Okay, very important. So I can even begin with the version 1, but it doesn't matter the number of versions that you begin with. Yeah.
You need the semicolon, right?
The semicolon? No, it's just, it is supposed to, we say it's, no, you don't need semicolon. This is just a method. It is being passed. See, it's being passed a list. So it's just a list. Okay, so you don't need a semicolon. So I'll run it. So we had forgotten only this thing. That's why it did not allow us to do it. So I'll run the application again. Oh, another thing, you have to overwrite here at DAO to make it to be an interface. I mean interface for, just put at DAO on top of your interface. Okay, like this, at DAO. That's another error that I'd forgot. Here under public interface, you must make it a DAO object. So our application has finished executing. Let us listen to the errors. So I'll simply come here to our database. I'll copy this tag of the repository and then click on log cut, and then I want to filter only the errors, I mean issues that are coming from from database repository, because so I'll check if you saved or you did not save. Then I'll come back to application here and I click on on add product. Okay, and then it should open add product. We do not attach it. Let us see. The reason why it was not executing, we had not started this activity here. It's going to be this it's going to be main activity, dot start active. Oh, no, here I'm inside the click listener, so it cannot just do it unless we first call the context. So also I have to come here. I come here to the layout. With the layout here, so it's product. It is product. Okay, add product. Oh, this one. Okay, there we go. Let us run the application again. Time is over and they're still learning. Any soda. Just until solar time. Okay, there we go. So I click on add product, and then I'll have to expand here our log cut, and I listen to database repository, and then I'll come here and put rice. Let me get some product name here from Chick. I don't have ideas of product names. Halloween bangle. So I'll paste there. That was the last paste. Okay, nice. Nice what? Nice blouse. Okay, price 200. And then product details, simple details. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to come back here and see if it will save. So I'll just simply click on on add product. So it shows saving product, and then you can see run, saved successfully. Product was saved successfully. Nice blouse, it was saved successfully. It has been saved successfully. If we click again, it will be saved successfully. So that's how we save the what? The product. Now let us create some little automation. This guy is going to be like adding multiple products in a simple way. What I'm going to do, I'm going to create that logic in a few minutes. Like I'm going to, instead of us feeding their product manually, like that, I'm going to put them just a little logic to create these products. Okay, but that's how we add a product. So which logic I'm going to do? I'm going to do it just within a minute. I'm going to create here where is array list. Okay, I'm going to create here this product add activity. I'm going to create here what? An array of
Card is running, right?
hmm?
Record.
Yeah, it's recording, I think. It's recording. So let me create here what? An array. I just want to create some dummy data, because dummy data matters. Even when you're selling your project to your customer, you must put beautiful dummy data. You can put here titles, got new array. So instead of me typing every time, new array, and then we need titles, we need prices, and then description can be okay. Description can be constant. We'll put it there manually. So let us create some titles here. So I'll simply come here when someone clicks on validate data. I will just simply add the titles, so dot clear, and then dot add. Okay, so let us add here some dummy titles. So I'll come here and copy names very fast. Put here the first name. Come here, get this one, copy, put it here. Come get this. Let me just do like this. Only get names. It's going to copy too much things. Copy this. How should I copy it? How should I copy it? Okay, here I'm putting the names. Let me pause as I create some names. So I'm going to create here some dummy content. So this is how I created it. I just add some titles, I add some prices. Then I'll have to randomize some titles by simply saying collections, collection dot what dot shuffle dot shuffle, right? And then I pass titles. Let me shuffle them like 2 times, 3 times, and then I'll simply come here and say title dot set text, and then I'll get titles dot what dot get the first one, maybe in position 2, in position 3 dot what dot get dot to string. That's it. Okay, that's even pointless. So after making titles, I have to set also maybe prices. So it's going to be, I'll shuffle also price here, and then say price dot what dot set text, and I get from price position maybe 0, and then I set the price, and then maybe the details, and then the details going to be details dot what dot set text, and I can come here and just write some lorem, and then pick like 2 lines of details, and then set them there. Okay, so just come and set the details to be here. Okay, so after doing that, I'm going to run the project, and everything will be okay. Should be okay. Okay, so there we go. I click on add product, and I click on add product. You see everything is automatically filled, and the product is added successfully in the logcat. You see, that's success. I click on add. You see, everything is done automatically. So just click on add. So you don't need again to feed 1, feed 2, feed 3. You know, everything is being done. You see, randomized. Even the pictures are randomized, and everything is automatically generated. You can even make it a loop. It's beautiful. So I'm adding all these, and you can see how it is really fast. So
You can display.
how we can display, I don't know the time will allow, but let us begin. How many minutes do you remain with?
Time is finished.
Time is finished. How Swala is how time?
15 minutes.
How much? It's 45. Let us do in 10 minutes and see where we'll stop at, okay? Okay, so that's it. We'll display, we'll add these products. Beautiful. Okay, so these products are added, okay, by just simple logic like that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and start displaying the product. I'm going to be a little bit faster in doing this, okay? So first of all, we're going to display our products in the main activity, and you should be having knowledge of what? Of Recyclerview to display. So I'll simply come here in our main activity, and let me set the timer to be 10 minutes, not more than what? Not more than 10 minutes. Okay, we begin. So I'll begin by setting the adapter. That's the most important part. So I simply come here under my main activity and say new, and then say package. Okay, I'm going to call it package of what? Of adapters. Okay, package of adapter. So all my adapters will come here. So I'm going to click new Java what? Java class, and I'm going to call it product adapter. Okay, so after doing that, I already have this product adapter. I already have an adapter somewhere, but it's not a product adapter in my other project. So here I come to adapter. I think I have here one of the adapter here for music or for artists. Yeah, okay. So to create an adapter, I must first extend. Okay, okay. Let us do it step by step as you're learning again. So I'll first simply come here, and first of all, I need to extend what? A Recyclerview adapter. Okay, so I'll extend Recyclerview adapter. So it will come here, Recyclerview adapter first, but to here it should be view holder adapter, and I create a view holder. So before you even do anything, you first create a view holder to avoid the errors. Okay, so to create a view holder, I already have something like that. Okay, so I'll just simply click here. See, okay, so Recyclerview view holder, but should be something within an adapter. Okay, I'll just simply press Alt and Enter. No, I don't need to. Then begin by creating the view holder here. I already have where I override this view holder. Okay, you need first override the view holder. Okay, so I'll just simply come here within my Recyclerview. Okay, you know how to do that. In the previous video we discussed it. So I just override the view holder. Just press, let me create it here, just Alt and Enter. I'll implement the methods. Okay, implement all the methods, and it will stop crying. Hey, why do you stress? So after doing that, we'll go ahead and create the list of what? Of product. So I'll simply come here and put, I need a list of what? Of product model. Product model. And then after, I'll have to pass here a list of product model like this. Then after, I'll need the context. Do I need to? Yes, I'll need the context. And then I'll also need the click listener. Okay, so I'll just simply come here and create the context here and the click listener. On click listener item, I'll import this one, and also no, just like this. Okay, import, and then here also on button click listener. That's not important at this moment. Okay, I don't need this for now. Okay, so after putting that, I hope this was straightforward. I'll go ahead and create the click listener for a single object by just overriding it and say dot set on item click listener and then I add here on click listener. Just press Alt and Enter to compile it, and then initialize it with this click listener. Then after, I'll go and set this on button. Don't need it. I don't need the style. I need now to create the context. I mean the constructor of this adapter. So to create this constructor, just press Alt and Insert, and then say constructor, and then say you need to initialize only the list and the context, these two, and then say OK. So after doing that, we are good to go. I'll go ahead and then create the view holder. Okay, the view holder. I'll just simply come here. I think we already have the view holder somewhere already created. Okay, it's already there. The view holder, something that extends view holder, recycler view holder. No, it's not yet created. Just view holder. I can even delete this. I can just create my own like this. Okay, let me just leave the one that is there. Okay, view holder like this. My class, that original view holder. Let me implement this view holder. Okay, so in this view holder is where we'll be binding the things from, and then where we don't need this circular view. We just need an image view, and I'll call it product image. Okay, I don't need an artist name. I need a a title. Okay, I don't need artist view. I don't need I'll need a title. I'll need price. I'll need also the price and no, I don't need I'll not put details here. I need price. I need also, yeah, those are the two things that I need. Details I'll put in the full screen. I don't need this material layout, the parent layout. Maybe it should we put them in cards? Yeah, maybe it should be a card view, and that will be the parent layout. Then here I'll be just receiving the parent layout is equal to, okay, we're going to create now the layout. But before I create the layout, we're going to first inflate this view holder, the on create view holder. It'll time allow. It'll time will not finish. I'll create this view holder. I would not need to create this view holder. Okay, so I'll have here to create a new view holder like this, Recyclerview view holder, and then in this view holder is where I'm going to inflate a new view holder like this. Okay, by simply saying view holder, this view holder define it from, just simply say view is equal to layout inflator, and then I create the layout for a single product. So I'll simply come here, just come here, Alt and Insert. I'm going to call it, okay, I'll just come here under my layout. Will time allow? I don't think, but I see where will stop from.
Resources.
So, under resources, where the resources.
Down.
Okay, yeah, here under layouts. Okay, new resource resource layout, and then I'll call it item product. Okay, and then say okay. Then after creating item product, I'll just simply come here to split, and then I'm going to create just here. I already have another thing which is already having that. I have some layouts that I may not need to define again. Okay, so it's going to be something like this. I'll explain. Okay, so I'll collapse, time will not allow. Maybe I'll finish this video later. So I don't need this one. Material repo, I don't need this. I don't need this. Padding, maybe I can make it 16 dp, and also make this one 16 dp. Okay, we'll first pray and then I'll record after praying. So this one should not be that, should be just a card view, card view. Let's first pray and then I'll record after. So we are back. Let us finish what we started. First of all, I already have some layout here, so I'll make this one to be a linear layout, and this one's going to be a card view. In fact, this one's the main one. This should be a card view, and then I'll only need this what. I'll just cut this ID and give it to the main parent, and then I'll come and remove this card view tag here. This one, I'll not need it because I already have another card view outside. Okay, so I can go ahead and give this card view some okay, just write card view like this. Select this card view of widget, that one, the first one, and then I can give it up, and then give it what, radius, corner radius, card corner radius. I can give it maybe 3 dp, and I can also give it the up elevation, maybe 3 dp. Okay, so that's our simple. And okay, so after doing that, we'll go ahead and now put some items in this layout. So instead of putting this circular whatever, I'm going to change it to what, image view. Because this needs an external library, but I don't need to do it. So going to be an image view. Okay, so after putting the image view, I'll make the width maybe match parent. Okay, to match parent, and the height maybe to be like 400 dp or 300 dp the height. Okay, so this card view, it should drop content. Okay, so after putting the height of 300 dp, I'll come and give I'll just come and remove this. Okay, I'll remove this I'll remove these other attributes. Okay, it's just an image, right? You can even put there a placeholder if you want to. So after doing that, we'll come and say the title here. Okay, I'll just remove these padding things and the coloring thing. I'll just remove this. It's an image, I don't need this image. So the title, I don't need this. I just make the title to be like 18 dp, and then also to be having a color of 100 black. Okay, that should look a little bit outstanding. And then I'll come here and get this text. I mean the color, I'll leave it the way it is. And there we go. And then maybe I can increase the size to 14 dp since the main text is 15 dp. And there we go. We have here some image. I don't need it. Okay, so there we go. So I've created a single a single layout for a single product image. Okay, item product. So let me give them here the names. So I can call here product title, and then I can come here and call it product price, and then I can come here image, and I give it an ID of product image. So after doing that, I'll then come here to our adapter and then link them. So instead of putting artist photo, I'll remove all these. I'll just come here a product image. It's going to be product image. It's going to be an image view. Okay, image view, of course. I'm going to find out the product image. I'll duplicate this one. I'll come and find the next one is the title, product title. So it's going to be here product title. So it's going to be maybe here. So let me make it product title. So no, something is wrong. Product title. Product title. Image, find view. sorry. So image, it is image, and then product title is supposed to be here, right? That's going to be a text view typecasting. That's going to be product title. So like that, okay? So I duplicate, and then I come and say the price here, product price. It's gonna be here product price, and here product price. Okay, so it's going to be maybe product price here like this. Okay, so after doing that, I'll go ahead and set the. So here, this is when I'm doing what? I'm finding the main layout. Okay, so it's going to be product what? Item product. Okay, item product. That is the main layout. So what else haven't I done? I'll come to my other project, and then I'll come to this. So we've finished the create view holder and setting out the layout. We'll proceed to onbind. Onbind, do you have it? So here, instead of returning null, we'll return what? The view. Okay, this v, this is the one that will return here, or view holder itself. Let me see what we're returning here. That is on create view holder. On create view holder, we return the what? The view holder. So here, view holder here, on create view holder, I have to do this, original. So I'll come here, we inflate it, view holder, and then return here the view holder. See, this is the method that we inflate, and then here we later return. So you should be having knowledge of what? Of Recyclerview. And then after doing that, we'll go ahead and we'll return the view holder there. And then after doing that, we go ahead and we onbind. We write the onbind method. I think we already have it. Onbind is here. So onbind, you're going to implement the things that you may need when you're binding, and that is when we'll be setting the items. Okay, so I can simply come here and create my item, a single item, by saying it is final. So instead of saying artist, it's going to be product what? Product model p is equal to item.get a product name position. So I'll have to say the product name title. So it will be product title, but I cannot access it directly. I have to do what? To say holder dot product. Product title. How can I get it? It's going to be am I the onbind? Onbind is where I'm going to bind the views from. Okay, so I get here the product. Here I have it. Now I'll have to say the what? The product title. Okay, I get the item there, and then I have this view. I'll just typecast it, and then I get the holder. Then I have this view, and then I'll have to say the what? The title dot set title. Dot title, product title dot set text, and then I'll simply put p dot what? Dot text dot title, and then dot put dot string to turn into string, and then I'll go ahead and say the what? The price. Okay, so I have to put here price, and make sure that you add dot to string, or you put empty thing to get the price. And then after, what else? We'll put the price, and then you have to create the what? The image, to combine there the image. So to put the image, we'll use what we call glide library. Okay, the glide, you see, this the glide that we use. But before I set the image, I'll first make sure that our image length is more than a 0, because if I set it while the image length is nothing, then it will crash. If is dot what? Dot image dot empty. So I'll check if is not empty, the image is not empty, and then I'll go ahead and use the glide to say the image. But remember, to use glide, we must have the glide library in our project. So I'll come to our module, search for glide. Okay, I'll come to our module and then just search glide on on internet, or can just copy this the way it is here and copy it in our project. So I'll come here to my project here and go to the module, Gradle module, come here to implement, and then we're going to implement glide. You can simply come and search glide on internet by just coming here to internet and search glide. Okay, or glide library. You see the first search result, you'll see the implementation. You see the implementation is there, so you just copy that and put it in your in your project. I hope my implementation is still same and well updated. So I'll sync, then after syncing I'll go ahead and use now the glide. So they'll show you an example on how you can use glide here, you see. So you can just copy one of the example there, come and paste it here. Press Ctrl+Alt+L to automatically organize your code. So you just simply say glide with glide, and then you put dot with. I already have it here, so I don't need even to stress. Okay, so you put glide dot with, and then you pass the context. Remember, the context already have it here. And then after putting the context, and then you put the link. Okay, for example, my link is image, remember. And then after putting the image, then you put where they should the order that you want to, how you want it to be organized in that project. And then after, you come and walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So you put whether it should be centered or not, but you can as well leave it, doesn't matter. And then here you put the what you want to. Okay, the placeholder, I'll leave the placeholder. Okay, for now I'll leave the placeholder. And then after, you'll have to put an image, the view that you want to do what, to put in the image. So remember, our view, it is already here inside view dot what, dot product image. So by doing like that, it will make sure it will now put this image into this view. Okay, so it will put the image in that view. So that one is done. So this is where we'll feed the data from, in the in the onBind. You can pause and look at how I've written it. Okay, then after putting the onBind, then you have to put the click listener, so that you should be able to implement the click listener. So it's going to be I'm going to say the click listener. So it's going to be my main view dot main parent layout, okay, dot set on click listener. Then when I set on click listener, I just initialize the set on click items, and then I pass what do I pass? I pass item dot view, and then I'll have to do what? To implement this on click listener, its interface. So to do that, I'll proceed and say this on click listener, this pop-up menu, I don't need it, and Another thing that I'll have to is to set now this click listener. You see, public interface click listener. So that's what I need here. So you have just add that, and in this click listener we'll only take sorry, it's supposed to be outside, it's supposed to be here. And then in this click listener we will set that it will receive only the product model. Okay, so why this guy crying? So after doing that, and then we'll have to return the number of object dot on more button click listener. This one, don't need it. I'll have to return the number of objects. That's a very important thing here. You see here, I have to put items dot size, otherwise your application will not display anything. So click listener, why is it crying? Dot item dot get. If I comment here, just because they don't implement this. Here you must make sure that it is on item click listener, not on adapter item click listener. Make sure it is on item click listener, otherwise it will not work. Okay, and then they'll say the on click listener here. I'll say the on click listener, and then it will execute this click listener when someone clicks on it. Okay, so after doing that, after setting that, then I'll come and put here the menu. I don't need this menu, I did it in the other application. So I have to return the number of sizes, and then I'll have to put these interfaces. I'll have to implement one of these interfaces. This one is for the an item click listener on more button item. Okay, I'll just need this, so I'll add one more interface here. An item click listener, I think already implemented, and I pass the product object. So after doing that, I'll go ahead and do it and create the recycler view. So this is the adapter, and you've seen how I've created it, so you can also follow along, and you can watch my previous videos for creating the recycler views. So I'll go now ahead and create the recycler view in the main activity. So I'll come to the main activity, I'll create an object of recycler view, and then I'll call it maybe just recycler view, and then I'll come in our find view by ID and our binding. So I just find view by ID, this is equal to this, and then after creating the recycler view, I'll need now to create its own object, its own layout, by simply coming to a main activity and then add a recycler view with match parent and height match parent, and I'll give it an ID of recycler view and a close. So I've created that, and then I'll need now to start the logic of initializing the recycler view. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to initialize the recycler view, and then I'll update it. Okay, because right now I know the adapter will be empty in the when it is binding here. Let me show you what is main activity when it will be binding. Oh, not this project. Okay, well here I'm going to just put here feed data. Okay, I can call I can first get the data from the database and then I feed it. Here I'm going to first create the recycler view, and then after I will do what? I will update it. Okay, when I get the data I will update it. Okay, but because I've not connected the data from what, from the database, that's the way I'm going to do. I'm going to create it fully, and then after update the what, the Recyclerview. So to create the Recyclerview, I'll simply follow this logic that I created here. So after creating the Recyclerview, I'll then create the what, the adapter. Okay, I think that I was looking at. Okay, I'll have to do what, to say the Recyclerview layout manager. Okay, set Recyclerview layout manager. I'm going to make it to be, so it's going to be set Recyclerview. Here my Recyclerview. I'm going to set its layout manager. So the layout manager is going to be grid layout, and I'll pass here the context, which is this, and I'll be displaying two products at what, at a time. So after displaying that two products at a time, then we will do what, we'll set the nested scrolling enabled. I'll set it to false. Nested scrolling enabled, I'll set it to false to make our application to be faster when scrolling. And then I'll go ahead and create the what, the adapter. So the adapter will be simply just our simple adapter, like the one that, so I'll just say here an adapter. So it's going to be what, it's going to be music, what, music, not music, product adapter. Be an object of product adapter here, and then I'll call it product adapter. And then after creating the product adapter, I'll just simply initialize it here. Product adapter is equal to new product adapter. Okay, and it will take the context, which is this, and then a list of what, a list of product. So let me create a list of what, a list of products, list of what, of product, of product model. Okay, product model, like this, and then I'll just simply say product model is equal to new array list. Okay, so after creating the list of product model, I'll just simply pass it here, and we begin with the list and then the context according to this. Okay, so after doing that, and then what else, I've created the adapter, I've said the adapter, but remember our products are still empty. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to first set it here, and then after I'll get the empty, I'll update this product, and then update the what, the project. So I'll update the Recyclerview. So after doing that, we have set the adapter. So that's all, and then we'll go ahead and collect the data from what, from database. Okay, so after I've set here the Recyclerview, I'm going now to create the data from the database. But remember, our products are still empty, so it means that the Recyclerview is well set, but it is having nothing. Okay, so let me create a method that will be calling, after binding views, I'm going to create here a method that will be calling get database data, get maybe local data. Okay, so I'll press Alt and Enter to create this get local data. I'll come on top here and create it from here. You can create it anywhere, no problem. So here I'm going to first create the database what, the database repository. So it's going to be database repository. I'm going to call it database repository, okay, like this. Okay, then after creating the database repository, I'll just simply say database repository is equal to new database repository, and here I'm going to pass the context, which is this, and then after I will have to get the data. Okay, but remember, I've not written the logic of how to get that data. Here I only have saved data. So let us go to our database repository and put the logic of getting data. So I'll just simply click on the database repository, and I'm going to put the logic of creating what, of getting data. So to get data, we have what we call live data in this. We have what we call live data in our, how do you call it? We have what we call live data in room. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to our interface, because the interface that will communicate. So I'll press Ctrl and click on interface, and then in not database but interface. Okay, so here in database interface is where I'm going to put the list of, the logic of what, of getting the data here database. So I'm going to write the SQL for getting the data, not even the SQL, don't need to matter what about the SQL. You can just simply say query, okay, and then you write what you're going to return here. What I'm going to return a list of what, of data. So you just simply say live data, okay, and then here you return a list of what, a list of product model. Product, no, just write list. I want to return multiple product, that's why I write list. Just okay, let me repeat it. We return live data, and then you open those square bracket and write list of what, of product model, like this. Okay, and then I can change it, the name. I can say get all products. Okay, get all products. And then here I will not receive anything, because I just need only someone to call for this. And then here I can say query, and I write the SQL inside here. Select all from, just press Ctrl space, and they will suggest for you the tables. Ctrl space. So I can put now maybe order by. Do I need to order? Okay, let me put order by. Press Ctrl space, they will suggest for you ID, and then I put what, descending, or descending, yeah. So it will be getting product according to ID in descending order. So in our repository, I'm just going to return, I'm going to create a method like this, and I'll not do any logic there. I'm just going to return live data like the way it is here. So I'm going to return, I'm going to just create here a repository that will return live data. Okay, a list that will return sorry, not live data but live data, and return a list of product model. And then after we'll just simply say get what, get all products, and then we'll not receive anything. We just simply return the interface. Remember, have the interface here, interface db interface dot get what, get product data, like this. Okay, we already have the interface. Don't need to, do we need to put wait, well, no, you are writing this in the wrong place. It's supposed to be here in the repository, right? Surprised. Okay, here in the repository we just say live database, and then live data, and I pass the list, and then pass product what, product model, and then I say get all products, and just return the interface, and then get all products, because I want to return this thing. Okay, then after doing like that, then we're going to implement it here in our main activity. Okay, so here instead of saying save data, just going to say get, it should be public. Make sure that it is what, it is public. Get all product dot observe. So here you put observer, and it will take its time until it finishes to load those products, and then it will call anything that you put in the observer. Then here you pass the context, which is going to be this, and then after you pass new observe, like this. Okay, new observe, like this, and then just press enter. It will suggest for you, you see, new observe. Okay, and then suggest for you, and then they'll return for you these products. Can you see these products? So I'm going to check if these products are null, if this what has been returned is equal to null, and then I'll create here a simple toast and say no product found. So if there's no product found, I just return nothing. Okay, I'll return. Okay, so if it passes this, they mean that it's not null. Then what will I do? I'll initialize our global product. Remember, we have here a list of products here. A list of what? Of products. Okay, products. And remember, this is the one that we set to adapter. So I'll just initialize that list. So in case it is not null, I'll come here down and initialize the list. Okay. I'll just simply say this to make sure that I point at the original list. No. Okay, let me just change this name. Okay, because they are conflicting. Let me put here the underscore. Okay, so I check if this is called null, and then I'll do that. And then here I'll just simply say product models code, the one that has come from database. And then after, I'll update the what? The Recyclerview. Okay, so I can just write here the method that will update. I can say update recycle. Okay, I can just update it from here. Okay, let me just write a main method for updating. Update data, or update Recyclerview. Okay, just my own method. I write it. Press Alt and Enter to create it, and then create it in the what? In the main activity here. Then it will be created there. So here I'm just going to put the logic of what? Of updating the Recyclerview. So what's the logic? Is equal to how do you write the logic of updating? It is adapter dot what? Dot notify. Notify what? Notify data changed. Okay, so that one will do what? Will update the Recyclerview that there is something has changed, and then it should be updated. So let us run the application, and hopefully it will work. Oh, something is still wrong. What is not going on? Dot notify data changed. Notify dot notify change. Dot notify item change or items change. Dot notify. How do you update the Recyclerview? I just don't know how to do it. Update Recyclerview adapter 100. Just get some connection here. You don't need to memorize, just click there, and then you'll find the discussions on how to do it. Oh, is it the right thread? Find the answers. Dot notify item changed. Okay, let's notify item changed. And what do we pass? We pass the notify. No. The notify data changed. This one. Like that. This one. The notify data changed. Is it the same? Oh. Notify data set changed. Okay. Data set changed. Let us see. Hopefully it's going to work now. So it will start executing. Oh, one thing that you've forgotten is to set the adapter. You see, under initializing the Recyclerview, then you have to set the adapter dot set adapter, and then you pass the what? The product adapter. I had forgotten that. Very important. So you have to run. Still it's not displaying. So instead of notifying, let us get this data. Just get this data and put it in the what, in the main recycler, I mean in the notify. It's not notifying. I don't know why. I don't know why it is not updating. m.adapter.notify changed. Still not working. That notify range is not working. So let's see. Notify inserted. Notify. Okay. So to just notify changed is not working. Let us first clear the old list. Where is notify? Notify, that's how we do it. Let me just clear the previous list. So it's going to be products models dot what? You need to clear it on top here, right? Dot clear, and then do what? And then initialize it. If it doesn't work, then we'll be calling it after getting the data. So it will load. Still it's not working. So what we're going to do, we are going to just cut this code of setting up the recycler view. Okay, I'll just cut it from here, and then instead of updating recycler view, I'll just put the data there. Okay, it should be initialize. Okay, in fact it should be init other than say update. It should be initialize recycler view, and I'll come and make it here. So it will be initializing it from there. So after, with the next video, we'll see how we can work on that updating issue. So it will load, and hopefully it's gonna work. Yeah, it has worked. It has worked, but our images are not loading. I don't know why. Our images are not loading. Okay, let me work on the issue of images. Maybe it can be network. Let me make sure my network is working. So I'll simply enable this network in the emulator maybe, and also this network here. Turn off and turn it on. Okay, let me work on the network issue so our images can load, but you can see things are okay. So far so good, things are loading. Now let me see what could be the issue why the network is not loading, and fix it, because the images are supposed to this. I guess the reason why our IDE is not our project is not displaying images is because we don't have permissions to internet. So let us put the permission to internet. Just come here in the Android manifest and just search how to put permission. Internet permission Android. Okay, so we just come here and get this, how we do it. Just get these two. Okay, get these two lines. Okay, just add Android internet permission. You can just write them. You can copy these lines, and then you add them in your what, in your Android manifest. Okay, so we'll come to our Android manifest, which is here, and then we'll come here under the permission. Before the application, add permission internet. Okay, and then run the application again, and hopefully it will work. Not sure yet. So let us see. You have to add permission, internet permission first. Still it's not working. Let me see what could be the issue why the images are not loading. So you should make sure that your manifest is having this internet connection permission. Okay, use permission of internet connection, and if it's not there, then your application will not be able to connect to internet. Okay, then let us run our application and see if it works. So to load, and then it will finish, and that's the application. Okay, we're having the products, and yeah, it looks nice, When I scroll, see the images will load, and I'll get other products and get other products. Okay, so let us try to add one more product. Click on add, and then I'll come here, just click on add. Automatically it will fill, of course. Click on add, and then you see, and I click back, saving product, and I click back, you see one product has been added on our home page. Do like that, click on add, and then you see another product has been added, and the images are coming randomly. So that's how we create an application like that. So in the next video we'll begin, or in the next class we'll begin by seeing how we can perform a search and how we can perform deletion and updating. That's what we'll do in the next video. I hope you won't miss, and thank you for watching up to this point. And one more thing, don't give up because it's so hard, and don't just watch and leave it. Practice. If you don't practice, then it means that you've just passed time. But if you want to use the time, you have to practice and make sure that you did that you understood by practice, not by just watching. Okay, let's catch up again the next class, and thank you for watching.